Shalom, Jewish moms. You moms know that every week I make these video pep talks, but only once a year do I actually give an actual real life class to actual real life human beings. Every year I speak with my husband's 18-year-old students. As I think I told you last week, my husband runs a post-high school program for modern Orthodox girls. So every year I talk with them about my story, about how I became religious, and a little bit about motherhood. So I did so last Shabbat. Then I spoke with my husband's students, and so I told them something that you might not know about me, because it's actually quite really not so significant aspect of my life. But 20 years ago or so, I got a master's at Hebrew University in nonprofit management, and I never used it, and don't. So during the question and answer session with these students, I mentioned that as part of my life story, and one of the students asked me. She said, well, when your kids are, when your kids are older, do you ever think about going back into academia? So I answered her. I said, well, I just had a baby. I'm 43. And I said, and when this baby, in our circles, like a lot of boys go away at the age of 14. They go away to to a yeshiva that so you're living at the yeshiva part time, home part time. So I said, by that time, when I'll be sort of like an almost empty nester, then I will be 57 years old, and still I'm gonna have a young child. Still have like a 14-year-old. But I said, I don't think that 57 is going to be, I don't think that at the age of 57 I'm going to be making like some sort of big splash into academia or whatever big, impressive career you could think of. And I was reminded of this past Shabbat. We had some guests on Shabbat, and someone was talking about something that they'd heard. Regarding a certain rabbi. So they were talking about this rabbi and saying, some people go wide and some people go deep. Meaning some people do like a lot of things and reach and have like a lot of different accomplishments in different areas of their life, of their different areas and different spheres of, human activity. And some people go deep into one experience. Living their life just focusing on a single experience. And it really struck me, like that's me. Like, I've gone deep. I've gone deep in this. I've gone deep in the experience of Jewish motherhood. So I wanted to tell you a story from last night. Last night it was after Shabbat, and I was working really, really hard after Shabbat, to clean up. And then after I cleaned up, then I had to help two children with English projects. Took me a while. And then I had to get two little kids to bed. And my baby was sort of cranky. And so basically by the time it was 9 p.m., I was wiped out. I was so tired. So my boy Yoel, my 7-year-old, he said to me, he called down from his room and he said, Ima, can you come up and say Shema Yisrael with me? And I hesitated and I said, Yoel, I'm too tired. I'm too tired to come and say Shema Yisrael with you. But, that's terrible. And I was just thinking, like when he, after I said that, I was like, one day he's going to be like, big. It's going to be like one day he'll be taller than me. He'll be, a big boy. He'll be like a soldier in the army. He'll be like a father. Like he'll be like a grown man. He won't want me to come and he won't need me to come and, sit with him and sing him songs and say Shema Yisrael with him. And I said, so like after like 2 minutes, I said, Yoel, you still awake? Yeah. Okay, I'm coming to say Shema Yisrael with you. And I came up to say Shema Yisrael with him. And it reminded me of this process, like pushing myself like one last bit. It reminded me of this. My daughter went on a tiyul last week. She went on a hike with her youth group. And they went to a river in the south of Israel. It's sort of like a nachal, sort of like a stream, like a dried out stream bed, riverbed. And she brought back this beautiful, can you see it? This beautiful, I think it's called in English a rolling stone. And see how smooth it is? See how perfect it is? And what is that? It's from years and years and years, hundreds, maybe thousands of years of being knocked around in the stream by the water and going against different rocks, and ultimately you get this. You know, it's not such an easy process, I think, becoming such a perfect rolling stone, right? It's getting knocked around in the water and getting banged against all the other rocks and getting like jumbled around, and it's not such an easy life, right? But then look at it now. Look at it now. It's so perfect, right? So smooth and perfect, right? Flawless. And that was what I was thinking about this. I was thinking about this experience, like for all of us, because I think all of us have chosen to go deep, you know, go deep into motherhood. And I think so probably many of you have gone wider than me in terms of life experience, quite possibly. But I think, but all of us have gone deep into this, experiencing really fully, like this, you know, taking motherhood very seriously as a big, important shlichut, you know, mission from Hashem in our lives. And what's the result? Like, what do we get from all of these years of, you know, of being so tired and being like, no, I can't do it, and being like, okay, I'm coming to say Shema Yisrael with you, pushing yourself to that one last thing, do that one last Jewish mom act of chesed for your day, right? And it wasn't my last act of chesed for the day. I still had a bunch of more things to do, but it's that. It's becoming this. It's becoming a rolling stone, and I'm not talking about Mick Jagger. I'm talking about this. Becoming like a rolling stone, right? Becoming this flaw, all of this working hard, and it's not so pleasant. It's like, you know, getting bumped against our family members and having to, you know, getting jostled by, you know, the various, you know, unpleasantnesses of running a home, right? And all the things that go wrong and all the difficulties and all the challenges. But you know what? But in the end, you're this. You become slowly this flawless, perfect rolling stone. So I want to bless all of you Jewish moms. Now, I know it's not so easy. I know from personal experience, it's not so easy going deep into motherhood. It's not so easy just giving your whole self to it, and really, really pushing yourself to be the best mom you can, you know, and be the best Jewish mom that you can. But I think that in the end, you know, that what this is doing to us, it's making us this. It's making us flawless. These rolling stones. I want to bless all of you Jewish moms with an amazing, amazing week. Kol Tov.